The moderator will be Mr. Satya Tripathi, Secretary General, Global Alliance for a Sustainable Planet. Over to you, Mr. Satya Tripathi, please.
Thank you. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The discussion that we've followed throughout the day has had really a very wide range of ideas being presented, wide range of possibilities. And in that vein, what we will be discussing in this session is something that is fundamental to making anything happen. While targets and goals are set at an international level, think of the Paris Agreement, think of the Kyoto Protocol, think of the Montreal Protocol, or if you go to the CBD, we had the Nagoya Protocol, and now the Kunming-Montreal. So all these ones are decided at an international level, and they're national goals. But we know that national goals do not happen on their own. Somebody has to work. Somebody has to really make things happen on the ground for those to add up to achievements of a country that are then presented as national achievements under what we call the NDAs, the nationally determined contributions, the nationally determined contributions being the NDCs. And then that's something that has been following through from the Paris Agreement, that every country has put forward what their goals are, what their plans are to achieve those goals, and where they are. So there's annual reporting, there's the global stocktake. So that keeps happening, but at the end of the day, it all happens at the bottom of the pyramid. In an administrative structure, in big countries like Japan, like the United States, like India, my own country, and many other big countries, Indonesia and everywhere else, we have federal systems where there are states, the subnational level, and a lot of that action happens at the subnational level. So we have the privilege of three very distinguished people joining this fireside chat. There's Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu from Andhra Pradesh state of India, which is a state of 55 million people on the east coast of India, and it's a big state with about 1,000-kilometer coastline. And what they have achieved there is something really extraordinary. They started a program 10 years ago called the Natural Farming Program. And mind you, this is not organic farming. The results are organic, but they don't use compost. So it's a process of bioinoculation. So they use inoculants to treat the seed, to treat the soil, and treat the plants. And the result is the same as organic farming without the cost. And they have already converted more than 2 million farmers, mostly women. And of course, they recently won the world's largest environmental prize, which is called the Food Planet Prize. It's a $1.5 million US prize that they won just 2-3 weeks ago. So I asked Chief Minister Naidu, unfortunately he couldn't be here today, although it was his plan to be here, as to how politically challenging was it to really drive something at that scale. So it's not a proof of concept, it's not a pilot, it's already at system scale. Can we play the video, please?
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. It is a rare occasion to address this type of gathering. As a matter of fact, I want to attend this conference due to unavoidable situation, attend this meeting. But I am very happy to address all of you through virtual conference. This is an excellent move taken by this organization, Natural Positive Summit, that too city like Kumamoto, where you love nature and also you build sustainable models. Here I wanted to place before all of you, as a policy maker, from a province in India, that is Andhra Pradesh. I started zero budget natural farming 2015 and 16 in a small way. At the time, everybody opposed me. It won't work. Even all my agricultural scientists, they argued with me. It won't work at all. Then I convinced them, when there is a new concept, let them work together. Ultimately, we had a strong organization by name DOCRA, women-led self-help groups. I started 3 decades back. That was a very big momentum they have built by self-motivating, saving as a habit, and also community and also self-empowerment they are working. They took this initiative in the beginning. I am very happy today. It has become a people's movement and community movement. 2025-26, around 8,168 villages panchayats, they are cultivating natural farming today. And also 1.8 million farmers, 2.2 million acres of land, they are cultivating in natural farming, zero chemical fertilizers, and at the same time, 100% organic manure and natural farming. Benefits of this: earlier farmers used to use chemical fertilizers by spending a lot of money, and also people are reluctant to purchase because of high use of fertilizers. Today, because of this, they are able to save 30 to 66% income level. And also they are able to save 50% of water, 46% per acre. Greenhouse gases has been reduced. This is a tremendous experience for us. Now Government of India has started National Mission for Natural Farming in 23-24. Now Government of India is doing country level. Andhra Pradesh is planning in a bigger way. By 2034, 6 million farmers, 100% chemical-free agriculture. That is totally natural farming. Recently, we had bitter experiences. Those who are farming with natural farming, they are very happy. They are claiming their family health has been improved tremendously, and also they are proud natural farming produce to neighbors and friends and villagers community. Their health has been improved. Now it is spreading as a momentum. Recently, some farmers have sent our produce to other countries where they rejected our produce because of chemical fertilizers. Now every farmer is realizing this is an experiment we are doing. I am very happy to associate with all of you. This is where recently Andhra Pradesh government natural farming is recognized by Switzerland government. They have awarded one of the best award, Planet Food Prize, by giving 1.5 billion US dollars as a prize money. This is the recognition all over the world we are able to establish. Now our goal is very clear. Those who are working similar experiments, we want to work together. And also we wanted to produce a proof of concept. Thereby we can expand, and also finally we can scale it up at a larger scale, even national level and international level. Ultimately, I strongly believe future is nature farming. We have to control chemical fertilizers totally. Then only we can maintain sustainability. According to me, we are going so many experiments now. In Andhra Pradesh, additional to this, Green energy, we are going in a big way. Solar, wind, and at the same time, pumped storage, total green energy, renewable energy, we are going. This type of initiatives, ultimately, we can provide better environment. Ultimately, sustainability is very, very important for humankind.
Thank you, Chief Minister Naidu. Thank you so much. So just to add to what the Chief Minister said, I mean, he's a very humble man, so he doesn't speak too much about himself, but it's an extraordinary leadership experiment because they have managed to organize 8.5 million women in self-help groups of 10 women each. So there are 850,000 self-help groups. That's how they have managed to scale this in such a big way. And the other thing is the Japan connection. They follow the principles of the great Japanese agricultural philosopher, Masanobu Fukuoka, who put forward the idea that agriculture must be in harmony with nature, not against nature, but with nature. And that is something we see in a very, very good way in Kumamoto. Kumamoto has set global examples. You know, when I arrived here, I was asking in the hotel, I said, can I get some bottles of water? They said, no, you can drink the tap water. I said, are you sure it is clean? So they said, no, absolutely. You know, we have no chemicals in the water. It comes directly from the spring into your tap. One of the very few cities of this size that actually has the confidence to send water directly from the mountains through the volcanic rocks to the population directly. And that's something you are, Governor, you are trying to even enhance that, you know. So tell us more about how stewardship works at a prefecture level under your leadership. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you very much, Satya-san. I am Kimura, the governor of Kumamoto Prefecture. Nice to meet you. So you just asked a question about the conservation of groundwater in Kumamoto. Groundwater in Kumamoto is really the treasure of Kumamoto people. It is an asset, and we'd like to pass this on to future generations all along. This is something that is a top priority for local government administration. And the summit is being held in Kumamoto City and Kumamoto region as a whole, or prefecture. It may be hard for people outside of the prefecture to understand, but all the water needs in daily life is covered groundwater, so it is really a treasure for us. So why do we have such a good groundwater? I think there are people within the prefecture who don't know too much about this, so I'd like to explain this. Tens of thousands of years ago, because of the volcanic eruption of Mount Aso, there is this layer where water tends to permeate very easily. On top of that, about 500 years ago, or 400 plus years ago, at around 1600, at the watershed of Shirakawa River, many rice paddies were developed. So rice paddy water would go underground, and this is saved as groundwater. So together with Mount Aso's groundwater, people's livelihood had actually led to some generation of groundwater. That is one hallmark of Kumamoto. So Kumamoto has such rich groundwater resources. Industrial activities and farming activities, industry and agriculture have been located in Kumamoto thanks to the groundwater. So this has really been the asset and backbone for the economic growth of Kumamoto. And recently, Shirakawa mid-range watershed has a TSMC and other semiconductor businesses are being located or situated. And then natural question for you would be that they use groundwater and they bring about benefits for various prefectural citizens, and this is of course a welcome, but there is a concern that they may be taking too much groundwater. It may be used too much. Some prefectural citizens have such concern. And when I ran for the office in Kumamoto government, I did a campaign, and that is the concern that I heard the most. So I became the governor, and there was this major rule change. One major change. So from 2012, within Kumamoto Prefecture, we have the local ordinance to conserve groundwater. So those who take up groundwater, this is now being licensed. This is a license system, and against the volume, 10% of the volume they use have to be generated. So they have to do the watershed conservation. So this is a 10% rule. Having said that, if you're only returning a 10% of the groundwater, if you're only returning that much, people would be concerned. So from 2023, businesses actually have to return 100% of the groundwater they take, and they have to make efforts to generate as much water as they use. We asked the businesses to do that. And then businesses who are taking groundwater are now conserving groundwater. So this is the practice in Kumamoto Prefecture. Could you please project one page, one slide? As you can see here, this is such a beautiful scenery, isn't it? Or landscape. Actually, this scenery has been supported by businesses in a way. Kumamoto Prefecture, Ozu, Seta area. This is a water field, a paddy field. It's really beautiful, isn't it? That is thanks to businesses. So they are providing a support to farmers, and there are rice fields which are not used in autumn, winter, and spring. So farmers are supported by businesses, and then they keep water on the paddy fields, which would generate the groundwater. So groundwater can be generated throughout the year, or even if the rice fields are no longer used for rice cultivation, businesses are still helping farmers to keep water in them. So TSMC and Sony, these are major businesses are actually generating as much groundwater as they use, so they are honoring this promise or pledge. Thanks to businesses, they are defending and protecting the groundwater. So this is case in point for that. I have one more thing that I want to discuss and share with you. Kumamoto Prefecture is working on a new program. This is for Mount Aso. So this is Mount Aso. This is the grass field of Aso. So Aso grass field has the largest footprint in Japan. It rains over the grass field, and not only does it go to Kumamoto, but also it is used for, or it is a watershed for 6 major rivers in Kyushu. Chikugogawa River is one example, so Ono River is another, Okokase River is the third one. So Aso is really the water source, primary water source of Kyushu. So sometimes the horses are kept here freely and on this green land to maintain this at the beginning of the spring. There is this burning of the grass in spring. By setting a fire on the grassland, you can have the new buds. This is really about people's livelihood. And by making interventions to the mountain, you generate the next round of greenery, but we don't have enough human resources to do that. So conservation of groundwater and also biodiversity habitats, this green grassland is playing such an important role, but the footprint is being reduced or declining. We want to maintain this by all means to protect the paddy fields and forests and water in Kumamoto. In August last year, Kumamoto Prefecture set up a fund to protect the mountain, like a stewardship. So prefectural citizens and businesses were asked to make a donation. So with the donation, the grass, land, and the natural habitat of Aso are now protected. The prefecture is making interventions, and the donation from people and businesses is now mobilized to protect the grassland and the natural environment. So I hope that everyone who is here today to protect the water of Kumamoto and Kyushu, there is this fund and there is a pamphlet and so on at the entrance. So if you could consider donating, that would be very much appreciated. nature positive and economic development are compatible. They are not mutually exclusive. To this end, the local government has to set up a system and a mechanism so that prefectural citizens and businesses will be engaged in the actual practices for nature conservation. So, to such businesses and prefectural people, we are trying to give them a nudge based upon the nature positive philosophy and concept. We would like to make efforts for sustainable development. That's all for Kumamoto Prefecture. Thank you.
Governor, there's an outstanding example of what happens when the government, civil society, and businesses work together. And that's the whole point of the Nature Positive Summit, that businesses must see the opportunity in collaborating with all the other stakeholders in driving the kind of change that we need to help nature thrive and come back again. Let me now come to you, Ambassador Margaryan. I know you are leading the conversation as the host country on the next, the goals and the targets, and how do we get to the economic Montreal goals, and how do we make it really happen? Because we've seen a lot of goals in the past. You were the permanent representative of your country at the UN headquarters when I was Assistant Secretary General there. And we've seen, we agree on a lot of things which never really happens. But now you have this amazing opportunity to lead from the front. So tell us a little more about what you're planning, and also how do you bring these subnational champions to really add to the bigger voice on the global stage? The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. First, let me say that how privileged I am to be part of this distinguished panel together with the governor of Kumamoto province and with the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Today there is a broad understanding that national governance cannot deliver on their own on the achievement of targets and goals of KMGBF. So if provinces, municipalities, and regional authorities are not fully engaged, the national commitments will struggle to translate into real outcomes. So there is growing recognition that meaningful implementation requires whole of a government and whole of a society approach, bringing together national and subnational authorities, local communities, civil society, and private sector. So from our perspective as incoming COP17 presidency, it is about bringing all the relevant authorities into one space, into one conversation. So local and regional authorities are often responsible for water management, for urban development planning, and many day-to-day decisions, which shape biodiversity outcomes. So, and importantly, they are the ones who are the closest to the local communities and are best placed to generate local ownership and long-term engagement of the communities. So during COP17 in Yerevan, we will be hosting the 9th summit of subnational governments and cities on the 24th October, and it will bring together governors, mayors, and regional authorities from around the world. And I want also to use this opportunity to encourage also wider participation from among the members of this summit. So together will be a joint gathering together with other stakeholders and international organizations, private sector, and that will provide a platform to exchange practical experiences and showcase how local actions contribute to the implementation of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework or national strategies and action plans. And here it will be very useful to learn from the experience of the cities and province of Kumamoto or the one that the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh presented. And one thing also is important to highlight that the international agreements and the national commitments, that they provide the framework for enabling the necessary environment, but it is the subnational authorities and regional governments that are there on the ground who stand for the implementation and the closer coordination that will, as presidency will strive to provide between the national governments and the larger civil society and regional authorities. I think the better are the chances for achieving lasting outcomes for people and nature.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Very well put. You know, the frameworks are global, but ultimately the work has to be done at the grassroots level, at the leadership, at a community level and at a state level, because that then adds up to national achievements that can then feed into the global frameworks. Thank you so much. We are unfortunately running out of time, so if you have one message to give to the global audience that are listening to you right now, what would it be in a very short, both of you? We'll start with the governor.
Kumamoto.
Thank you very much. So Kumamoto Prefecture has this wonderful groundwater and also grassland and natural landscape and so forth have been supported by general people, prefectural citizens from grandparents generation and parents generation down to us. This has been succeeded one after another across the generations. This is not just through public work, but it is thanks to people's livelihood and daily activities. So prefectural citizens and the population being able to communicate with them closely is only possible because we are at a subnational level in collaboration with the central and national government. We believe that the subnational governments can play such an important role for nature positive as well. So making contributions to the nature positive concept will drive up the value of businesses as well. I hope this will be recognized and acknowledged. So today we have Suntory as one of the sponsors. For example, Suntory utilizes groundwater for their business, but at the same time they are also conserving forests in Kumamoto, so they are really protecting the nature of Kumamoto as well. And this has been a driver for their business or corporate value as well. So business citizens, I hope that they will be able to understand that protecting the groundwater will be able to enhance corporate value too. Thank you.
For making that point so emphatically that we need to get out of this vicious cycle and get into a virtuous cycle where everybody works together to protect nature. Ambassador, over to you.
Thank you. Taking action for nature is the motto that the Armenian presidency has taken. So I will encourage the raising awareness and engagement at all levels, be it at schools, children, universities, students, private sector, businesses. There are things that we are taking for granted, but they are not. So nature needs our care and action. So taking action for nature would be my encouragement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand. Outstanding panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please give them a big round of applause once again.